Have you ever wondered what our distant ancestors were capable of, long before the age of cities, writing, or even the first pyramids? Tonight, we are traveling deep into the forests of Siberia to uncover a mystery that has puzzled archaeologists for over a century. Buried beneath a peat bog, preserved by an extraordinary accident of nature, lies one of humanity's oldest known monumental artworks, the Shigir Idol. Discovered in 1890 by workers cutting through the peat, the fragments of this massive wooden figure did not reveal their secrets immediately. But once cleaned and reassembled, the idol astonished experts. Standing over 5 meters tall, roughly the height of a 2-story building, it was carved from a single tree trunk, meticulously etched with geometric patterns, zigzags, and a series of stacked human faces. Radiocarbon dating later revealed it is over 12,000 years old, making it not only older than Stonehenge but thousands of years older than Egypt's first pyramids. What makes the Shigir Idol so remarkable is not just its age or size, it is the complexity of its design. The repeated lines and motifs suggest a story or a spiritual message, possibly a map of the cosmos, ancestral spirits, or sacred teachings. Yet without written records, the true meaning remains a mystery, locked away in the lines carved by Mesolithic hands. The level of craftsmanship is equally astonishing. Using only stone tools, the people of that era transformed a 150-year-old tree into a symbolic monument that would have dominated the landscape, a striking statement in a world without permanent settlements or temples. Each face, each line, was deliberately created, hinting at a society capable of abstract thought, symbolic expression, and shared traditions. As we explore the Shigir Idol today, we glimpse the imagination, skill, and beliefs of a people who lived over 12 millennia ago, a time when humans were shaping their world in ways that continue to captivate us even now. After marveling at the Shigir Idol, our journey takes us thousands of kilometers south to the fertile lands of the Near East, to a site known as Ain Ghazal in modern-day Jordan. Here, archaeologists uncovered one of the most remarkable artistic achievements of prehistoric humans, life-sized statues made of reeds and plaster, dating back over 9,000 years. Ain Ghazal was one of the largest settlements of the pre-pottery Neolithic period, covering more than 30 acres and supporting thousands of inhabitants. These early farmers built mud brick houses, cultivated cereals, and raised goats. Yet they also invested extraordinary effort into creating art. In 1983, construction crews accidentally revealed caches of human figures buried beneath layers of earth, carefully hidden as if intended never to be seen again. The statues, standing roughly 1 meter tall, feature stylized faces with large, dark eyes and slender bodies. Some are double-headed, suggesting symbolic meaning, perhaps reflecting duality, fertility, or the balance of life and death. The meticulous construction layered plaster over reed frameworks, with careful decoration and smooth surfaces, shows remarkable craftsmanship and planning, requiring coordination across the community. Why were they buried? Archaeologists believe the figures were part of ritual practices, used in ceremonies and then intentionally interred. This practice echoes broader Neolithic traditions in the region, where ancestors and spiritual forces were venerated through objects and symbolic gestures. The statues' uniformity, scale, and public nature suggest they were more than private expressions, they were central to community identity and belief systems. The Ain Ghazal statues provide a rare window into the minds of humans at a time when writing did not yet exist. They reveal that, even in a world focused on survival, our ancestors sought meaning, symbolism, and connection to forces beyond themselves. These silent figures, preserved for millennia, continue to whisper the stories of a civilization experimenting with ritual, identity, and the human urge to leave a mark on the world. From the ancient settlements of Jordan, we travel across the globe to the high Andes of Peru, where the Maracahuasi Plateau rises more than 4,000 meters above sea level. This vast expanse of volcanic rock is scattered with formations that appear to resemble human faces, animals, and mysterious figures. The question that has puzzled explorers and researchers for decades is whether these shapes are the work of natural erosion or deliberate sculpting by a long-lost civilization. The plateau is made of volcanic rock that naturally fractures over time, creating dramatic shapes and patterns. Yet the sheer number of formations, and the way some resemble familiar figures from certain angles, invites speculation. Among the most famous is the so-called monument to humanity, a cliff face that seems to display multiple human profiles gazing in different directions. While geologists often attribute the shapes to pareidolia, the human tendency to perceive familiar patterns in random formations, the presence of nearby archaeological evidence adds a layer of mystery. Stone terraces, small tombs, and pottery fragments link Maracahuasi to pre-Columbian Andean cultures, suggesting that ancient peoples recognized the plateau's unique forms and may have incorporated them into spiritual practices. Its high elevation, panoramic views, and clear skies would have made it a perfect site for rituals, observation of celestial events, or pilgrimage. Minimal modifications, such as carving niches or steps, could have enhanced the natural figure's significance, blurring the line between nature and human design. For generations, Maracahuasi has inspired awe and speculation. Were the faces messages left by a forgotten civilization? Or simply nature's artistry magnified by human imagination? Perhaps both. Regardless, the plateau stands as a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown, where the natural world and spiritual interpretation intertwine. Standing among the rocks, one cannot help but feel a connection to the past, a reminder that humans across time have always sought meaning in the landscapes around them. From the high Andes, we now journey to the valley of the Nile, where the foundations of Egyptian civilization first took shape. Among the earliest urban centers was Hierakonpolis, also known in ancient times as Nekhen. Thriving more than 5,000 years ago, this city was already a hub of power, religion, and culture long before the construction of the famous pyramids. Its walls, temples, and workshops tell a story of early Egyptian innovation, yet buried beneath these achievements lies evidence of a dramatic natural disaster that nearly erased the city from memory. Archaeologists uncovered layers of silt and clay mixed with broken pottery and collapsed structures, pointing to a massive flood far beyond the predictable annual rise of the Nile. Homes, workshops, and streets were abruptly buried, leaving a snapshot of daily life frozen in time. Tools, food remains, and even half-finished pottery lay exactly where inhabitants had left them when the waters surged. Unlike later, controlled floods that enriched the soil, this inundation was sudden and destructive, leaving marks that would influence how the city was rebuilt. The flood likely occurred during a period of climatic instability at the end of the 4th millennium BC. Seasonal storms, changes in the river's course, or extreme rainfall upstream could have triggered the disaster. The inhabitants responded by relocating essential buildings to higher ground, shaping the urban layout of future generations. Temple precincts were constructed safely above the floodline, demonstrating both resilience and a deepening understanding of the Nile's power. Beyond physical destruction, the flood may have also influenced cultural and religious development. Water, both life-giving and destructive, became central to Egyptian belief systems. Stories of chaos and renewal echo in myths of creation and in royal ideology, linking leadership to control over natural forces. The lost flood of Hierakonpolis remains a powerful reminder of humanity's ongoing dialogue with nature, illustrating how early societies adapted to survive, rebuild, and transform in the face of overwhelming natural events. From the Nile, we travel to the cloud forests of northern Peru, home to the mysterious Chachapoya people, often called the Warriors of the Clouds by later Inca chroniclers. Nestled along rugged Andean slopes, the Chachapoya built impressive stone cities, cliff tombs, and ceremonial structures, showcasing sophisticated architecture and communal effort. But alongside these physical achievements, local traditions preserve an extraordinary story: the appearance of a fiery flame in the sky, an event so dramatic it endured in memory for generations. According to oral accounts recorded by Spanish chroniclers, the sky flame lit up the mountains at night, accompanied by noise and a sense of awe. Some versions describe it crashing into the earth, while others suggest it streaked across the heavens before disappearing. Modern researchers propose several possible explanations. It could have been a meteor or bolide, similar to the Tunguska explosion of 1908 in Siberia, which produced a spectacular fireball in the sky. Alternatively, distant volcanic eruptions might have illuminated the atmosphere, or perhaps a bright comet appeared for weeks, leaving a lasting impression on observers. Whatever the cause, the event was remembered with reverence. For the Chachapoya, the fiery display would have been interpreted through a spiritual lens, connecting celestial phenomena to gods, omens, and natural forces. Archaeological evidence from Chachapoya settlements, including offering pits and ritual spaces, suggests that celestial events were closely linked to religious life. The story of the sky flame serves as a window into how ancient peoples observed and responded to extraordinary natural occurrences, integrating them into mythology, ritual, and community memory. The sky flame stands as a reminder that some mysteries survive not in stone or clay, but in human memory, preserved across centuries. It reveals a culture attuned to its environment, sensitive to the heavens, and capable of passing down remarkable experiences long before modern science could explain them. The Chachapoya sky flame invites us to imagine how a fleeting natural spectacle can leave an indelible mark on human history. Our journey now moves to Roman Britain, where one of history's enduring military enigmas unfolds, the fate of the 9th Legion Hispania. Known for its discipline and combat prowess, the 9th was a vital part of Rome's forces, stationed in Britain during the 1st and 2nd centuries AD. It participated in campaigns against rebellious tribes and played a key role in maintaining Roman control over the northern territories. Yet, by around AD 120, mentions of this legion mysteriously vanish from historical records, sparking centuries of speculation. The 9th had already faced significant challenges. During Queen Boudica's revolt around AD 60–61, it suffered heavy losses, though the legion was rebuilt. It continued operations from its headquarters at Eboracum, modern York, documented by inscriptions and tile stamps. Then, abruptly, it disappears from records while other legions remain clearly noted. One theory suggests the 9th was destroyed in battle, possibly in northern Scotland, though contemporary Roman historians rarely omitted major defeats. The lack of clear evidence leaves this scenario uncertain. Another possibility is redeployment. Archaeological finds, such as a tile stamp in the Netherlands, hint that the 9th may have been moved to continental Europe or even to the eastern provinces of the empire, where conflicts in Judea, Armenia, and Parthia demanded additional troops. It is also conceivable that the legion was disbanded or absorbed into other units due to manpower shortages or political reshuffling, a practice not uncommon in the Roman military. The mystery of the 9th Legion captures the imagination because it highlights how even the most organized and powerful empires can have gaps in their records. Its disappearance encourages historians to piece together clues from inscriptions, archaeology, and historical context, yet a definitive answer remains elusive. The 9th Hispania reminds us that history often contains unsolved puzzles, where facts, interpretations, and speculation intersect, leaving a story open-ended for generations to explore. From the mysteries of Roman Britain, we travel far north to the Ural Mountains of Russia, where one of the oldest known wooden monuments on Earth, the Shigir Idol, continues to baffle researchers. Buried in a peat bog for over 12,000 years, this towering figure was discovered in 1890, and its significance only became clear decades later. Carved from a single massive tree, the idol originally stood about 5.3 meters tall, making it taller than a two-story building. The surface of the Shigir Idol is covered in intricate patterns, zigzags, straight lines, and geometric motifs running deliberately across the figure, along with stacked human-like faces whose hollow eyes gaze outward. Radiocarbon dating places it in the Mesolithic period, a time when most communities in northern Eurasia were hunter-gatherers. The precision of its carvings suggests advanced craftsmanship, with techniques and symbolism carefully passed down through generations. The purpose of the idol remains a mystery. Some scholars interpret it as a representation of a layered universe, with sky, earth, and underworld depicted through geometric motifs and faces. Others propose it served as a spiritual or ritual marker, perhaps honoring ancestors or marking sacred territory. The use of a single, carefully chosen tree over 150 years old indicates that creating the monument was a monumental effort, demonstrating the cultural importance of art and belief even in small, mobile societies. The preservation of the Shigir Idol is as remarkable as its creation. The anaerobic peat bog prevented decay for millennia, allowing modern researchers to study its form and patterns. Even today, the exact meaning of its lines and faces remains elusive. The Shigir Idol is a testament to the imagination, spiritual depth, and skill of its creators, offering a rare glimpse into the symbolic life of people living over 12,000 years ago. It reminds us that monumental art is not exclusive to advanced civilizations. Even hunter-gatherer communities left lasting, enigmatic legacies. From the frozen forests of Siberia, we move south to the fertile lands of Jordan, where the ancient settlement of Ain Ghazal preserves some of the earliest large-scale human representations ever discovered. Dating back to between 7,250 and 5,000 BC, this pre-pottery Neolithic village was home to several thousand people who cultivated cereals, raised animals, and constructed rectangular mud brick houses. Yet what makes Ain Ghazal truly remarkable are the dozens of life-sized plaster statues found buried beneath its floors. Discovered in the 1980s during road construction, the statues were carefully interred in pits, suggesting deliberate burial soon after creation. Made from bundles of reeds coated with lime plaster, many of the figures stand about 1 meter tall and feature long necks, stylized faces, and large dark eyes. Some even have double heads, hinting at symbolic meanings now lost to time. The uniformity in style combined with subtle differences in individual statues reflects both communal artistic conventions and careful craftsmanship. The effort required to create these figures was immense. Lime plaster production demanded heating limestone to over 800 degrees C, consuming large amounts of wood and labor. Such investment indicates that these statues were not mere decoration. They likely played a role in ritual life, perhaps honoring ancestors, marking life cycles, or representing spiritual beliefs. Their repeated burial implies that they were used for ceremonial purposes, then deliberately retired from use. Ain Ghazal also reveals sophisticated urban planning and social organization. Houses were rebuilt over generations, often atop older structures, and burials were carefully integrated under floors, sometimes with plastered skulls removed from skeletons. These practices suggest a deep respect for ancestry and a symbolic link between the living and the dead. The statues of Ain Ghazal demonstrate that by 7000 BC, humans were already creating monumental art that transcended survival, expressing complex thought, social cohesion, and spiritual imagination. They stand as silent witnesses to a community striving to understand the world, marking a pivotal moment in the emergence of human civilization. High in the Andes Mountains of Peru, east of Lima, lies the Maracahuasi Plateau, a barren volcanic landscape more than 4,000 meters above sea level. Stretching across several square kilometers, this rocky plateau is scattered with massive stone formations that resemble human faces, animals, and other mysterious shapes. Some see a giant head with a long chin, a crouching frog, or the iconic monument to humanity, a cliff face showing multiple human profiles. The mystery of Maracahuasi lies in whether these formations are entirely natural or the work of ancient peoples. Geologists argue that the volcanic rock fractures naturally, and wind and water erosion can produce shapes resembling familiar forms. However, the sheer number of these formations and the way some appear aligned or recognizable from specific angles has intrigued explorers and researchers for decades. Maracahuasi first gained public attention in the 1950s, when Peruvian explorer Daniel Russo documented the site extensively. Convinced that ancient civilizations had shaped the plateau, he photographed and mapped dozens of formations, giving them descriptive names like the face of the Inca, the African Queen, and the frog of fertility. While many scientists remain skeptical, these formations have captured imaginations worldwide. Archaeological evidence suggests that ancient people did inhabit or use the plateau. Stone ruins, terraces, and tombs link the site to pre-Columbian Andean cultures, possibly serving as a ceremonial center. The high-altitude, panoramic views, and natural rock formations would have made Maracahuasi ideal for rituals connected to the heavens. Minimal human modification might have enhanced natural forms to reflect spiritual beliefs. Whether natural or intentionally shaped, Maracahuasi exemplifies the complex interaction between humans and their environment. The plateau demonstrates how ancient Andean societies could attribute sacred meaning to landscapes, blending nature, symbolism, and ritual life. It remains one of the most enigmatic sites in the Andes, a place where the line between geology and human intention is still debated. High in the cloud forests of northern Peru, the Chachapoya people, often called the warriors of the clouds, built impressive settlements along steep ridges and mountaintops. Their stone cities, cliff tombs, and carefully preserved mummies reveal a culture skilled in architecture, community planning, and ritual. Among the many stories preserved in oral tradition is one of a fiery sky event, a sky flame that illuminated the night and terrified the local population. The Chachapoya thrived from around 800 AD until their conquest by the Inca in the 15th century, living in a rugged landscape of constant mist, sudden storms, and shifting weather. Spanish chroniclers documented the sky flame, describing it as a bright object streaking across the heavens, sometimes crashing into the mountains or disappearing from view. While the details vary, the story suggests a significant natural event that left a strong impression on the community and endured in memory for generations. Modern researchers propose several explanations. It could have been a large meteor or bolide, exploding in the atmosphere with immense energy, much like the 1908 Tunguska event in Siberia or the 2013 Chelyabinsk meteor in Russia. Other possibilities include distant volcanic eruptions that lit the sky, or a bright comet visible for weeks. Regardless of the cause, the event clearly held deep significance for the Chachapoya, whose lives and spiritual beliefs were closely tied to celestial phenomena. Archaeological evidence supports the idea that ritual and astronomy were intertwined. Circular buildings, offering pits, carved stones, and symbolic designs in settlements like Kwawap suggest that extraordinary sky events were observed and interpreted within a spiritual framework. The sky flame story demonstrates how ancient peoples carefully watched and remembered natural events, translating them into cultural knowledge, spiritual meaning, and oral history. The memory of the sky flame reminds us that even before modern science, humans across the world were attentive observers of the cosmos, recording dramatic occurrences in ways that shaped culture, belief, and communal identity. As we journey through the mysteries of the ancient world, from towering wooden idols in Siberia to fiery skies in the Peruvian cloud forests, it is clear that history still holds countless secrets. These remarkable discoveries remind us that human creativity, curiosity, and the desire to understand the world have always shaped our civilizations. Each monument, artifact, or ancient tale is a window into the minds and lives of those who came before us, people who faced challenges, celebrated the unknown, and recorded their experiences in ways that still resonate thousands of years later. Whether it is a mysterious idol, a buried statue, or a sky ablaze with light, the past continues to speak to us, inviting exploration, reflection, and wonder. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the forgotten corners of history. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating ancient mysteries every week. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive, and remember, history is never truly silent. It whispers to those who are willing to listen.